Oh, true talk, man. I don't know if you're like me, but when I did kickboxing, when I did jujitsu, when I've done any of the competitions I've done, it doesn't feel real until I get hit. Until like there's an exchange. You know what I mean? Like I still feel like I'm kind of sleepwalking until that first contact. Even if they don't like land like hard or anything like that, if they just hit my glove or whatever. Like I need like something, or even me hitting them sometimes. And jujitsu, that's why jujitsu is hard for me to compete in because it feels so weird. I'm exhausted
Yeah.
and struggling against something, but I also feel like I'm asleep all at the same time. It's so weird.
Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely kind of the same way. Like it doesn't register. I don't really get nervous before my fights,
Mm-hmm.
um, just because it's like not real to me until it is. I guess it's. I'll tell you the moment when it hits me is when they're announcing the names, right? When both
Mm.
people walk in, you do the walk around. They lock the cage and. Well, not necessarily lock the cage, but they close the door. They have the announcer say everything, and then at that moment,
Yeah.
you hear the crowd, you hear everything, and then it hits me, and it's like, oh, here we go. But even then, it's like
See.
until the things get started, and it's always awkward at the beginning until it settles in, and
Mm-hmm.
that's something I'm trying to work on is just getting settled in right away because you see some of these guys like or girls, I was going to use Thug Rose as an example. She's so good, but she comes out and she's moving, she's finding her rhythm, she's throwing her long range weapons out and just staying super calm. Whereas me, it's kind of like I'm super calm, I'm moving around a little bit, but the second there's like an interaction, it is like we are going, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the Diego Sanchez like in your face style is nice, but it's also exhausting. So I need to find that middle ground of like that in between. I think it's that antsiness where it hits me, and I'm so ready to go that we start going.
No, absolutely, man. Like I said, it's a very challenging thing to really flip that switch and everything like that. And for me, it's kind of the opposite of what you said. I'm nervous. My most nervous in the waiting room, waiting for them to call your fight. Like that
Hmm.
wait where you're just sitting there and like that, and you're just waiting for it. That's the worst for me. But as soon as I get in the actual ring or on the mat or something like that, I feel nothing. I'm like a sociopath. I have no emotions like whatsoever. I feel like I'm numb. Like that's what I was saying before. I feel like I'm sleepwalking until this
Yeah.
context starts, and then all I'm doing is trying to figure out what I'm doing next and everything like that. But it's the strangest thing. I'm nervous when I'm the safest, but when I'm actually
Yeah.
in
Huh.
danger, the nerves are gone.
Yeah, see, for me, I'm nervous until the action actually starts, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So it's like I'm nervous
yeah,
from
yeah. I
that
got you.
moment where they announce me until the first punches are thrown. And the second we get into the fight, we're good. I'm Lizard Braden is on, and I'm just like focused and thinking about things that I need to think about in the heat of the moment of the fight. Um, and it's funny like how aware you are of things that are just going on. Like it's really a game of inches, like you said, where you have to move your head
Hmm.
an inch, not like 3 feet across. It's all about minor adjustments, just tiny tiny steps. It's a game of inches, sincerely, and it's crazy how much like even just a small miscalculation can ruin your whole night, like with Thug Rose and Zhang Weilei, but with the head kick, right? um, she was expecting a leg kick and she pulled her hips back the same way Sanchai taught her to do, and it was up top, and it was one of those things where she zigged where she should have zagged. It's such a close game, so
Cool.
you got to stay focused on top of everything.
Thanks for checking out Starting Nowhere. Come find us on Facebook so you can comment on this and other clips and episodes of Starting Nowhere.